different angle today. McDonald's, the snack wrap is coming back. July 10th is the return after a 9-year absence of the popular chicken tender tortilla. Visit snackwrapfiles.com for a countdown and potentially some more. This video is not in any way sponsored or endorsed by the Golden Arches. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Trending Tuesday on the Chili Wolfpack podcast. I am your host, Ian Wolf. I am not Luke from Gilmore Girls. I am Ian Wolf from the St. Louis area. 2 Chinese researchers, 33 and 34 years old, were charged with smuggling a crop-killing fungus into the United States in small bags. The fungus, and I'll try to pronounce this correctly, Fusarium graminearum. Fusarium graminearum is my interpretation of the pronunciation of this fungus. It's classified as a potential agro-terrorism weapon. According to the FBI, the fungus causes head blight. Head blight is a disease of wheat, barley, maize, and rice, and is responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses each year. The pair of Chinese researchers plan to research the fungus at a University of Michigan lab, but the researchers had not filled out proper paperwork. University of Michigan is cooperating with law enforcement. Attorney General Pam Bondi stated, and I quote, "Thanks to the hard work of our excellent Department of Justice attorneys, this defendant, who clandestinely attempted to bring destructive substance into the United States, will face years behind bars." End quote. This water is like, for some reason on my core this morning, really cold. Now on to the workforce side of things, and these sources are from Reuters and CNBC. Unemployment rate held at 4.2% in May. Worker pay went up. Average hourly earnings went up 0.4% in May and 3.9% from a year ago. 139,000 new jobs were created in May, and 62,000, which is nearly half, come from healthcare. Now we transition to Arkansas. Ex-police chief who broke out of an Arkansas prison 2 weeks ago is back behind bars. He's serving 80 years for RAPE and MURDER. Arkansas is a great state in general, but this one particular gentleman should be locked up. Yeah. I'm glad that he was found. On to Amazon. Amazon is investing $10 billion to build data centers in North Carolina. This is part of Amazon's plan to keep up with the growing demand for artificial intelligence infrastructure. South Korea elected Democrat Lee Jae-myung as president, which ends a 6-month power vacuum. And back in December, South Korea's president was impeached, and then 2 weeks later, the replacement was impeached. Our quote of the day comes from C.S. Lewis. God cannot give us a happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. It does not exist. I'll read this one more time and then dive into it. From C.S. Lewis, God cannot give us a happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. It does not exist. The happiness and peace apart from himself. I think I speak for everyone when I say all of us are searching for some sort of peace and happiness. Happiness. We all want to be happy. Who wants to be miserable? Who wants to hate their life? Who actually wants to hate their life? Some people, they kind of wear like a badge of honor. Seriously, who wants? No, we all want happiness and peace, whether or not we outwardly say it. And C.S. Lewis is saying here that true happiness and peace does not come from anywhere else but through God, from God. Deion Sanders is one of many who has expressed how resources such as wealth has given them a lot of opportunities to chase various things. And Deion Sanders, Hall of Fame football player, incredible football player. While he's playing, he had money, he had fame, a lot of these things, a lot of temporary gratifications that he's chasing. But he still felt emptiness inside. And if I'm not mistaken, him and his wife got divorced. But ultimately, he came to Christ. Despite all of these opportunities that he had, you would think his life is great. He's one of the best football players of all time, and he has money, and people worship him. But he still felt emptiness. And he's come to Christ. Now he's very outward about his faith. Recently, I just watched a YouTube short, and it was an interview with Choppa. For those of you that don't know, Choppa is a rapper, very skilled rapper, albeit. Now, I'll also add a very secular rapper. You can hear it in the lyrics and see it in his music videos. You'll find that's a lot of the typical secular stuff. Money, drugs, women, things of that nature. A lot of stuff that isn't glorifying to God. And he said in this interview that one night he just cried out to God. He cried out to God. And Choppa cried out to God. He said, God, the stuff isn't working. I have all this money, but it's not working. This weed, it's not working. These women, it's not working. Like, all these things that one might think would make you feel good, would make you feel happy, would make your life pretty content and complete. It must be nice to have a lot of money, not have to worry about bills, and you can travel wherever you want, and you can buy clothes and go out to eat and whatever. You don't have to look at the price tag. Just do what you want. Some people might find being able to get with any woman you want. Some people might find that very appealing. A lot of people know him, perhaps praise him, worship him. He's a very, very talented rapper, but he has all of this stuff, and he said, God, like, it's not working. I feel empty. I need your help. And I don't know where he'll go from there. There's the 4 different types of soils in the parable of the farmer's seed. That's Matthew chapter 13. Ideally, we all want to be the fertile soil. Another soil that does come to mind with, I'm not saying this will be him, but I hope that Choppa is not someone who's the shallow soil. So a plant can quickly sprout up, but then because it's shallow and there's not very far for the roots to go, it quickly withers underneath the heat of the sun. And so to compare that, someone who's a seed in shallow soil, they'd be someone who is quick to inspiration, like, all right, I'm on fire for the Lord. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to get right with God. And it lasts for maybe a few weeks or a few months. And then the desires of the world veer them off course. They lose sight, perhaps, the progress that they made. So I hope that he actually turns his life to Christ. But that's the point of C.S. Lewis's quote. We're all searching for peace and happiness. If you want true peace and happiness, it's got to come from God. Stay informed. Praise Jesus. Oh no.